Adjon az Isten szebb jövőt. God bless Hungary and all the nation who love freedom, Austria as well. Yeah, I'm sitting here in the building of Council of Europe, and we are having the actual assembly, parliamentary assembly, and I'm sitting here with two of my colleagues who are Austrian but not live in the same country, because Mr. Johannes Hübnerel is from Austria, a lawyer, my colleague, just like me. I'm a lawyer as well. And Mr. Karl Zeller is from Meran. It's a really wonderful city, actually in South Tyrol. Also a lawyer, also my colleague. But this city doesn't belong to Austria right now. It belongs to Italy. So he representing Italy, or
a part of Austria. Former part of Austria.
you told
Let's put it
you told
simple,
it.
Südtirol representing.
Yeah,
okay.
Südtirol. I was there twice. I like it, this region really much. It's a really European region, just like székely, Székelyland, like here. So we have got a little different interesting topics. We would like to be really efficient. First of all, I would like to ask you, Johannes, about your impressions of the second day of this assembly. We are working on this in the same committee, the Legal Affairs Committee. It just ended a few hours ago. What was your impression about this today meeting of the committee?
First, I must say, for me, it was the first day because I only arrived yesterday night.
Yeah.
So my first and very positive impression was the change in chairmanship in the committee. Mr. Job from the British Conservatives, he made a very good impression, and he really knows parliamentarism. You can see how he runs the committee, how he organizes. Very, very good. So this is maybe the best way you can do it. Second, I was very pleased about the resolution we discussed about enforced population transfer, a report prepared by Mr. Vareikis.
He's from Latvia.
From Latvia, yeah. This report was
Lithuania. Lithuania.
We always mix these four states up, almost like Austria and Australia. And there were amendments done, and now it's, I think, a well-balanced document, really based on what happened in Europe the last 70 years, not forgetting about a massive forced population transfer that occurred between 44 and 48, 49, a transfer which changed the landscape of Europe. Now, I think everyone can agree to this, and it acknowledges the fact that forcing people to leave their home is one of the worst crimes you can commit politically.
Let me interrupt you just for a minute, because so this report is now delivered to the Assembly, but it was a previous debate in Paris last December, and I was there, and I succeeded to make an amendment in this text. Would you please give me the copy of this, Johannes?
Yes, of
please. So if you see the point, so draft resolution point 5 is a new one. It was adopted in December, Paris. I was worked on this provision together with Mr. Frunda. He's from Romania, but he's a Hungarian member of Council of Europe. And this is about the deportation of political and ethnic grounds of groups of populations occurred after the Second World War in the former communist countries, and their consequences still exist. And that's really important, because a few hundred thousands of Hungarians were ousted from Upper Hungary, Felvidék, Slovakia today, and they didn't get any kind of compensation or remedy up till now. And it's a horrible case, I think. But there were a lot of Germans. Who were ousted from Baltic countries, from Czech, the Sudeten region. So I think it's really important, and we will. The Assembly will handle it on Friday, and we will have a really interesting session, committee session on Thursday, and we would like to make a common amendment in order to be stronger in the field of compensation. So many thanks for this comment.
What I have only to add, I have to congratulate you to your appointment as member of the European Commission for the efficiency of justice.
Yeah.
So this is quite an important thing, and we're looking forward to how you are doing justice in Europe more efficient.
It was the first time I heard about this body, but I will try to do my best to raise
make something out of it.
Because I think it's a really important thing, because the legal interest of people could really could be really difficulty raised or validate if the courts are slow. Maybe the courts of the human rights is the first one, which is the slowest in Europe. The other was that I was nominated as the opinion maker to a report which called Child-Friendly Justice, and this has some Austrian links, because this report is made by an Austrian member of parliament, Mr. Stefan Schenach, your colleague in the Austrian parliament, yeah?
Not in the parliament, in the Bundesrat.
Bundesrat,
second chamber,
Okay, second
but
chamber.
it's also parliament. Parliament is not wrong.
Okay. So let's give the word to Mr. Karl Zeller. Karl, if you let me call you this way. You are a lawyer, and you have got some special badge at your suite. Would you please tell me some words about that, and about you? Where are you from? And
we try to establish as official languages also German, Italian and Russian, because now only French and English are the official languages of the European Council and the Council of Europe, and this is a very big problem for the citizens in whole Europe, because they can have all our documents only in these two official languages, in English or in French. But if you are not able to speak French or English, you cannot find out what is your interest in these matters, and we can use our languages, German, Italian or Russian here in the parliament, but all the documents are only in two languages, and we have here all the staff of for traducing in all the languages, and it's not a big. It's not more expensive, or not much more expensive, to do the translations also of the documents.
Yeah.
And so the Council of Europe can be closer to the people.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, a very good action started by the colleagues of Austrian colleagues, and it's very.
Yeah, I met some people from Austria just standing over here and collecting signatures. I've signed as well, and I try to convince. What's your impression?
100 members
that's good.
Of the parliament. Yeah.
Yes, because it's about the numbers. Could you give some explanation that how many people speak German in Europe?
In Europe, I think
it's mother language.
The largest community of speakers in Europe, because Germany, 80 million, Austria, I think 8-9 million of people.
In South Tyrol?
South Tyrol, 500,000.
500, yeah.
Now we are 330,000.
In Switzerland?
Switzerland,
5 million.
5 million. Yeah. And I think that is a very, very big community.
Yeah. Even in Hungary as well. We have German.
And we have Liechtenstein, of course.
Yeah.
Liechtenstein, yeah. Alsace
as well.
Yeah.
And also, it's obvious, also Russian community.
Yeah.
also the other states dominated this of the Russians until 1919. Also there, the Russian language is very.
Okay, I wish you many success, and I hope it will change. Anyhow, I would ask you about the many people in Hungary are really sympathizing with South Tyrol because we have a own story just like yours. Székelyföld, Széklerland is belongs to Romania. Here is in my hand. You can see the statue of Székely National Council, Székely Nemzeti Tanács, which is about a European conform, European-like regulation how to ensure rights for a community which lives an ancient territory and which was detached to another country just because of a peace treaty. Because as I know well, South Tyrol was given to Italy after the World War First.
First World War, yes.
Yeah. Could you please tell us some words about your impressions?
We have always fought for the self-determination. In 1919, we asked the self-determination to go back to Austria, because we were always part from Austria for 600 years. And
that's why I call it South Tyrol, because
in our territory in 1919 there lived only 4% of Italians.
After the treaty, or before the treaty?
Before the treaty.
Yeah, in the time of the treaty.
And under the fascist period, they tried to do a forced immigration of Italians in our territory. So the percentage of Italians increased until 35% in 20 years.
And mostly in cities, as I know.
Because on the mountains the
Bozen,
Italians...
Meran auch?
50-50. Meran is 50% German, 50% Italian. Bozen 70% Italians and 30%. But in the whole territory now we have 67% German, 4% Ladins, Retro-Romanians, and 27% Italians.
And what's your living standard? So how do you feel? Are you okay? Are you happy? Are you satisfied?
Under the Second World War, we asked another time the self-determination, but we obtained only the Paris Agreement, the treaty, and the treaty granted us an autonomy, a territorial autonomy, and also the protection of the minority rights. And we must fight all other 30 years against the central government in Italy, but in the end of the 60s we obtained a very good autonomy, and now we have the highest internal product per head in Italy, higher than Lombardy and higher
the most
than
developed region in Italy.
Because we have a very special
with good white wines and
Austria
apples.
Was very, very helpful for this, and without Austria we could never arrive at this goal. And so we have 90% of our taxes remain in South Tyrol.
That's really
so
important.
We have, in the last 20 years, we got quite all the competences from the center state.
I see.
The center state has only the policemen, taxes, the justice, and the social insurance. All the rest, the streets, the railways, it's all now
run by the South Tyrol
administrated by our local government.
How did you do it? I'm asking Johannes as well, because it was your success, the people who lived in South Tyrol, or what did Austria in this story. Austria was neutral and told that, okay, it's really important to live peace together and so on. Or Austria helped South Tyrolian people.
Austria helped. In the beginning, after the Second World War, it was very difficult for Austria because Austria was occupied until they have the State Treaty 1955. But starting from 1955, Austria has always supported our policy against the central government in Rome. And after the bombs in the 60s, there were a lot of
there were bombings, because it's not so well known. In South Tyrol, it was not only peaceful.
The power stations, our people put the bombs in the
were brave to fight.
Against it was a protest against the standstill in the negotiations Austria-Italy, because the negotiations were always between Austria and Italy, because we have a treaty, the treaty, the Gasperi-Guber, which granted our autonomy, and so Italy, Austria until now is the power, a state who granted our autonomy.
And Austria, well, I ask you, Johannes, Austria treated the South Tyrolean territory just like a so-called part of Austria, because Austria was a guarantor of the rights of people of South Tyrol, And as I know well, in the UN, the United Nations, Austria brought the case of South Tyrol as well.
I wouldn't say Austria treated South Tyrol as a part of Austria. No, this is too far. They didn't do so. But they gave many rights to South Tyroleans which they never gave to others. Like already in the 60s, they were allowed to study in Austrian universities. They got free access to the labor market and so on and so on. Now I think the support is weak. Some initiatives, too weak. Some initiatives that came from South Tyrol, like, for example, the double nationality, having two passports, they are not supported by the government. The government is more or less a little tired of the affair, and they want to have peace. They want to hear nothing. The most they like not to hear anything of South Tyrol. This is my feeling. So if there are new troubles, though they try not to get too much involved. So they should
don't have trouble with Italy.
They should have a more active role.
And what would you suggest for the people of Székelyland, Székelyföld, who are now struggling for the same position as you gained?
The first thing, what you can decide yourself, it's to vote only one party, for have only one subject who can speak with Hungarian government, Romanian government.
It's really important.
One voice. It's
there should not be any division.
Which you can also you alone can say. Your people can say, I will speak with one language. Because otherwise it's not possible. It's very, very difficult to give autonomy to this territory. But if you're not, if you are yourself, you are not, you have not a united front. It's not possible to have political success, and this is very important. And then you must have very we are patient also. It's not 1 year, not 2 years. Often it's 30, 10 years, 20 years, but you must every day work for this
it's really
objective. This is you must have it in the DNA. So it's
and patience.
And also your children and.
Patient shouldn't mean cowardness or shouldn't mean
you must be
shyness. Yes.
Not shy. It's important is to work every day, but not expect that tomorrow the problem is resolved. It's like our problem is never resolved. These problems because you have in the dynamic of the evolutions of the economy and immigration. You have every day a new problem, and you cannot. The problem is never resolved. And also, South-Tyrol problem is not resolved because, for example, now we have big problems with the national government who don't respect our autonomy, our constitution. And so we have a lot of trials before the constitutional court against this government. And last week we were in Austria, in Vienna, for informing also the Austrian government for this difficult situation in Italy.
Okay, finally, because time is running out, I would like to ask your opinion about a resolution adopted by the Assembly last October, related to a really important issue called national sovereignty and statehood in contemporary international law, the need for clarification. This was prepared by German liberal member of Council of Europe Assembly, and I was really glad that with my colleague Ferenc Kalmár, he's from Christian Democrats, we managed to put an amendment in the resolution which is referring to a really important resolution of PACE, the Assembly, the 1334 from 2003, which is about the positive, the advantages and the positive effects of the autonomy, which is able to solve conflicts among nations. And happily, this resolution contains that the Assembly asks the states to respect the basic principles set out in Assembly Resolution 1334 as soon as possible. What do you think? Could that help for the self-determination movement in secular land or any kind of
it's very helpful
part of
a
Europe?
resolution, and we must say that the Assembly is more open for these questions than the Committee of Ministers, for example, because the international law is made by the states, and the states don't like interference in internal questions, or and so the parliament here, it's very a good resolution.
Have you voted?
Yeah. I have voted also your other amendments prepared by your movement, but not all our amendments passed. No.
Okay, and Johannes, what's your final words?
Coming back to this subject, well, there is a conflict of interests between human rights, and self-determination of the people is a human right, and the will of the states to stay united. So no state wants to leave any citizen or any province or any town to get away. Yeah? But I think it's a fundamental right for the people to decide in which state they want to live. Yeah. So the right even to separate from a state is an undeniable right that must be enshrined in every constitution. Of course, only if the people form a coherent group in a certain place. If they form an overwhelming majority in one place, or a majority of 2/3 at least, they should have the right to decide to which state they want to go, or if they want to be independent. Everything else is not acceptable. Thanks.
Okay, many thanks for your cooperation. It was really nice to talk to you, because I think it's really important to inform the people about the developments related to the Council of Europe, because most people doesn't know at all this organization or human rights. They just tell that okay, what's going on, or life is so bad or poor, but there is some example. For example, South Tyrol is a good example that if you are brave enough and you are active enough to struggle for your rights, you can have some results, and it's good to hear that.
You need international support.
That's what we need. Hungary is not in a good position right now because in the European Parliament, in Council of Europe, they tried to find a sentence. Yesterday, I was informed that they tried to initiate a debate related to Hungary as a violent country of human rights, but it was not succeeded. So I think we will go on next time, we will continue next time, and many thanks for your cooperation. Have a successful week.
It was a pleasure.
All the best. Bye.